Let me
All
flip
right,
over here to the chat.
here. Hey everybody, Santee here, Tales from the Ghostwriters. I'm here with Drew Ellsworth over there from Living History Comes Alive channel. Say hey. I tell you, one of the first things I did was with Drew over there, so he's an old hat at this. It's good. Drew, tell me a little bit about your channel. Tell us all. I mean, I know about your channel, but some of these other people don't.
Living History Comes Alive actually started as a reenactment group. I started reenacting 29 years ago. I do everything from pre-French and Indian War up through Cowboy era. And, you know, here of late, I have started tilting more towards Civil War until the turn of the 20th century. And, you know, then of course I bump into Santee on YouTube, and we start chatting on and off of YouTube, and it's like, man, you know, I've always loved the mid to late 19th century. So I actually started trying to put together a cowboy reenacting group here in Southwest Michigan. But yeah, we've been doing certain characters and stuff, specific time characters, and you know, Buffalo Bill Kody always being one of my personal favorites, since my wife don't mind, you know, the weird facial hair thing all that much. I decided to take up the persona of Buffalo Bill.
I got to change my notes. I had Annie Oakley down here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you was talking to somebody else.
Annie Oakley, scratch that. Cody series. Okay, good. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I mean,
Cody.
Kind of hairy? No, maybe not.
Oh, no problem.
Maybe that's
accidents happen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, everybody.
That's very possible.
I know that is the world's longest link right there for Living History Comes Alive, but I believe it's the only YouTube channel called Living History Comes Alive, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Okay.
Hey, Mark S. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, we have some people. Hey, Larry's here. Mitch is here. Scout Dog's here with a new icon.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of people here.
BJ's here.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Scout Dog's here.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Rusty's here.
Rusty's here?
A lot of them on here you and I both share.
Yeah, I know. We have a crossing of the streams. Isn't that bad? Like in Ghostbusters, that was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
I don't think so.
Not condoning alcohol.
There's Mr. Tombstone.
I'll clink glasses with you. Feel like we're oh, you got your flask? Oh, don't get it close to my whiskey there. Set the whole place on fire and be into the live stream.
Better be more concerned about mine.
Shooting with Uncle Dan. It's bullet. I've had wild turkey. Not one of my favorites, but there used to be a drink in Prescott, Arizona, at a saloon there called the Whiskey Row Fire, which was a joke on the fire they had there in the 1900s. And it was Wild Turkey 101 and some other stuff, and they lit the whole thing on fire because it was the only alcohol that would burn. I'm getting. Is anybody else? I'm getting feedback from you there, Drew.
Say what?
I'm getting feedback from you.
Yeah, I don't understand why. For some reason, I think maybe it's because I'm using a phone.
Okay. Do you have Facebook open? Or
no.
YouTube open?
Nope, YouTube's not open either. The only thing open is the link to this stream.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So next question. So you mentioned Cody's one of your favorite people. Why? Not just the facial hair, but why do you have a fascination with William F. Kody?
Well, Kody was the ultimate showman. I mean, you know, his dad came from Canada, his mom came from the U.S. They moved, you know, they moved to Canada, they moved back to the U.S., they moved to Iowa, and you know, he was a jack of all trades. I don't know, there's just his association with people, how he got along with everybody, how he was able to take the Wild West and move it all over the world so people could actually see what it was. And, you know, regardless of, you know, where he was or what he faced or anything else, he was always that showman. And I just respected that because, you know, with me being in reenacting for so long and talking to people at the events and everything, I have to be the showman too, regardless of how I'm feeling or what the weather's like or whatever. I'm out there and I'm the center of I'm in the center ring of the 3-ring circus.
Right.
And you know, yeah, and I enjoy that so much. So when I decided to actually grab a character, I grabbed the Ultimate Showman as a character to personify.
That is so cool. And I think you do a great job of it so far. Sorry. Enrique, Knob Creek. Okay, good. Oh, yeah. BJ Blaskovich Gaming says Burnside's facial hair was ridiculous. Yeah, that's where the term sideburns comes from. Let's see.
And you know, there's actually a historic they say discrepancy. That's the word I'm looking for. There's actually a historic discrepancy with that.
Oh, you're using big
because one source says they come from Burnside's mutton chops. The other one says that during the American Revolution, the British were not allowed to have any hair on their face. Well, the great big brown Bess muskets would spark a lot of times, and the guy over here to the side, because you know your pan always sat away from your face on a flintlock. So when the guy over here shot, it would pepper this guy's face. So they let them grow their hair long right here to protect their hair, to keep their sides from getting burnt. So there's a big historic discrepancy with where sideburns really came
I didn't
from.
know there was a discrepancy. I thought that they were just, I thought it was General Burnside. So that's cool. Can't go back and redo that video.
It's good. I liked it.
It's a Diana Mulkin says Pinnacle Peak is closed right now, but they have the best steaks in town. They do. Drew, if you ever come down here, I'll take you to Pinnacle Peak Steakhouse, which is also where Trail is down there, and the Jerry's group and all that. And they do. They have mesquite roasts. They're definitely on my list of highest. Anyway, I think it's cool that you do the building thing. Now that jacket you built recently, right?
I didn't hear you. You kind of faded in now a little bit.
That jacket that you're wearing.
Oh yeah.
You built that out of a couple other jackets recently, right?
Actually, it was an elk hide shirt and a pair of elk hide pants.
Oh, okay. How did you get the roses and such on it?
I hand drew everything on.
Wow.
Did you paint it? Actually, I was afraid of what kind of paint to use, being out in the rain and the sun and everything. So I actually used an array of permanent markers to do it. So, I mean, here, let me see if I can.
See you later. Oh, wait. Sorry, that was Uncle Dan.
I mean, it goes all the way down, all the way across the back.
Wow.
And right back up the side. I've got about 30 or 40 hours of hand drawing the floral designs and the vines and stuff like that on it.
Well, it really came out good. You should be proud of that. That's a.
This is my #1 wearing jacket now. My wife hates it, but yeah,
What do you go to #2?
I go to the store like this. So I mean, the people in my town, my town is so small here in Michigan that I mean, everybody knows everybody. And if people see me in 21st century clothing more than once or twice in a week, they call my wife and ask if I'm okay, because they're used to seeing me either in a kilt or mostly now in this ensemble with my pistols on my side.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. You'd think that Tucson would be one of those places where everybody's just walking around in old West gear. We have so many people from California now. You don't see that.
Joe asked how much for a jacket like this, and a jacket like this. A jacket like this will normally cost you somewhere around $300 or $400.
That's it. That big jacket right there that you're wearing.
Yep, I can grab a person up, if I can find the hides to do it. I could make a person a jacket like this for about $400.
Now you used to have a buffalo coat, right? Did you tell me that?
A what?
Buffalo coat.
A coat? You faded out again.
Buffalo coat.
Yes, I used to, and then I had a buffalo hide. There's pictures on a couple videos of my daughter and her cousin laying on it out in an encampment. But yeah, I had a buffalo coat at one time, and I got rid of it, and I kick myself in the butt every day for it.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, you know, you'll get another one at some point if you really want it. Just don't wear it here. It's too hot.
Well, and you know, I was talking to somebody the other day about moving to that area, and I told him, you know, I spent 3 years in Texas. And the one nice thing about it, when I was in Texas, I hung out with a bunch of rodeo guys and stuff like that down around Humble, Texas, and Houston, around there. And we dressed in long sleeves and jeans constantly.
Sure.
And a lot of those guys would wear coats, and I got in the habit of wearing a ranch coat. But the humidity there is so much different. Up here, you even look at long sleeve shirts, you break a sweat. Down there, you can run around all day long and just have a ball.
I get a lot of people from Europe who bring that up, and they say, "Well, why did they wear long sleeves in the Southwest when it's so hot?" And you know, it's still today. If you drive down the street in 115-degree weather, all the construction workers are wearing long sleeves and big hats. So, yeah, you don't want to get yourself fried. Here's another question. How many years have you been reenacting, and what time periods do you do?
All right. This year, June this year marks 29 years for me.
Wow.
I started off doing buckskinner periods, so anywhere between late 18th century and up to about 1840. And I branched out from there, and I started doing French and Indian War, 1750s. And then because I have some Scottish blood in me, I started doing French and Indian War, Scotland, clear up to Civil War. And then here within probably the last year, I really struck an interest with the cowboy thing. We used to have a group of cowboys here, and the gentleman where we camped at and done our shows, which there are videos on my channel of Big Mike's Mountain Man or Big Mike's Cowboy Get Together and stuff like that. He sold his place. He's 70 years old. He wanted to start traveling before it was too late. And we have guys clear up in the UP, clear up in the very top of Michigan that travel like 5 or 6 hours one way just to come out for a weekend. And I mostly stick now with Civil War till the turn of the 20th century.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good, because I like the fact that you have all that other stuff, all those other periods in your trunk, as it were. That's pretty cool, because I've been to Civil War stuff, and I sort of feel out of place, you know, even though I'm only 20 years later. But sort of feel out of place. And you can definitely tell I'm out of place because guys, there's definitely differences in the clothing. Also, it's pretty interesting to me. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna look through these. Ooh, Slick. How you doing, buddy? Which side do you reenact with the Civil War? Careful now.
I'm actually the staff sergeant for the 12th Georgia Light Artillery, Company B.
Okay.
So we Confederate folk.
Yeah, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. I don't think anybody here will argue with me. If anybody does argue about it at all, I mean, it was 140 years ago, so let's let it go.
It's fun. I've done both sides. A lot of times, when my artillery unit's not around, though, I'll get my guys together and we'll do Renegade. So something like Quattrell's Raiders or something like that. So I've actually gone to events and done Red Leg before, which is really interesting because nobody understands what the red legs are for.
Right. They just think you got sunburned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that. So it's interesting. I have a friend in Sweden who may be on right now, named Bjorn. I know. Common name there. I guess it's like John. He does Civil War reenacting. He's part of Quantrell's Guerrillas as well. So he actually just made a flag with Quantrell on it. It's kind of neat. So somebody
cool.
asked me caliber cannon. I think that's for you.
Yeah, I've been thinking about those cannons that I sent you the other day. It's like, man, Santee has wanted a cannon so long, and the closest he's got to a cannon, Dan shot him with it, and it's like it was a picture, but still he managed to just blow you right off the screen.
Yeah, no.
It's like I told you the other day when we were talking. One day, if the wife wakes up and gets ready to go to work and goes, "Honey, why is there a cannon on our front yard?" You'll know I'm in the area.
Okay.
I've delivered a gift.
I would love to have a cannon. I just don't know where I would use it. I mean, I have a lot of ideas for skits with cannons in them, but it's not like something you can put in the back of your truck and just carry with you.
Yeah, and that's why I got rid of mine. I had a signal cannon and I put it on a full-size field carriage, and there was just no room to transport it. That's why I finally got rid of it. And I wish I would have known you when I got rid of it, because I got rid of it dirt cheap. And
$200.
Yeah, just like $250 is what the guy paid for it. For the barrel. I mean, it was a good cast barrel with a steel sleeve in it. It was a signal cannon. It was only about 2.5 foot long. Had a ping pong sized bore in it.
So somebody just asked
Roy from Roy and
know how you get into Civil War reenacting. They didn't ask that, but just if you could throw out how you. I would say just go to websites and try to find the Civil War in your area. But what would you say, Drew?
You can go to Civil War sites, or you can just go to an event. You find a unit commander somewhere and you tell them, "Hey, I'd love to get into this. How do I do it?" And a lot of these guys actually will carry extra guns, extra uniforms, the whole shebang with them. They will outfit you, and you spend the day with them, or if you have access to a tent, or they have an extra tent, they'll put you up for the weekend. You can go out and play with them, get a feel for it. It's easy to get involved in reenacting. Reenacting over the last probably decade has been kind of a dying art, and people are always looking for new reenactors, people who are interested in it, regardless of what time period it is.
Right.
And, if you show an interest in it, they'll go above and beyond to outfit you and get you out there to play with them.
Yeah, like I mentioned in an earlier one. It's really hard to get young people to get interested in it. I think with this new game, Red Dead Redemption, that came out a couple years ago, it's not a new game, it's a sequel to an older game. I think that's going to start bringing some more interest. So we might see a resurgence of young people getting into the sport. Hobby. It's not sport. I'm not throwing balls here. When's the next reenactment? Whenever the coronavirus gets over with.
That's a good question.
Now you have something in the fire, right?
Pardon?
Don't you have an iron in the fire for an event?
Right now it looks like our next event is going to probably be the Mid-Michigan event. Everything else, people kind of jumped the gun on the whole virus thing, and they were canceling events clear out into June and July. And I think it's a really bad idea. I've put on events before, and they're not hard to set up. The hardest part is doing the phone work and the Facebook work and stuff to get people interested. But, you know, I've got people on here, like John McJunkin in Missouri. I've got Tyler over in Iowa. They want to come clear to Michigan to do some of these events with us. And it's like, okay, as soon as I hear of something, I'll let you guys know. So, but yeah, I put on events, and if things keep playing out like they are now, and people keep canceling events, I'll put on an event this summer just to give people something to do.
I think we'll start seeing it clear up by the summer. People are getting antsy. So, real quick, I want to answer this question: how accurate are the Eastwood Westerns? Well, that's tricky. So a lot of the costuming actually.
How are the
Yeah, the Eastwood Westerns.
Well,
some of the costuming
thanks to people.
Go ahead.
They're not too awful bad. Some of the Eastwood Westerns, I'm not an authority on dressing the part. I believe everybody starts off somewhere. And the one really nice thing, I just got done watching a video today on the making Tombstone. And, you know, they were talking about how they love to hire reenactors as background people.
Yeah.
Because they bring their own guns, they bring their own clothes, they bring their own horses. So, you know, but if you want to see how to dress a part, I got to push this right back over on Santee again and say, hey, he does the videos on dressing the part, and I've learned a couple tricks about dressing the part from him.
So as far as the Clint Eastwood Westerns go, let's call them spaghetti Westerns. First of all, it wasn't just Clint Eastwood. There were hundreds of them. Yeah, probably. Some of them, one of the things they got right was the grittiness. They got the dirt and the grittiness of the era. The worn hats, the worn clothing, they got that right. Of course, the Buscadero rigs weren't right, but they didn't all have Buscadero rigs. So they did get a lot of things right in those movies. So anyway, all right, that helped you at all. I'll do a video on that at some point. You got your poncho, Drew?
I do not have a poncho. I've got 2 dusters, though, that are rainproof. So I'm pretty well set. I'll go. You ask anybody in the chat that knows me personally, like Mark S. or Roy from Roy and Becky's Travels, that I've reenacted with before, we're out there in 99 degrees, or we're out there in 45 degrees and rainy, and we're still out there just doing our thing. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that's part of the drill, right? I mean, you know, we used to do an event. Sadly, this year will be the first year it's not happening, but in July in Arizona. So it's just a sweaty mess. You know, but people come out because they want to go see it. You die in the grass, and all that humidity just absorbs in your skin. You know, what happens?
Yep.
Do it for the pay.
I do it for the notification and the recognition. I,
Cheers.
I have a goal for Living History Comes Alive and for the Kody character and stuff. And you know, I don't just want to do local events. I've actually talked to Tyler, that's bouncing around in the chat right now, about going out and actually traveling and trying to set up a schedule in other states for other reenactments, or even in Arizona, coming out there and doing the Kody thing, and something you just don't see on a regular basis. You see Wild Bill, and you see Wyatt, and you see Doc, but you very seldom ever see Kody.
That's true. I mean, there have been representations of Kody, but I would like to see one where he's not the showman. I'm not talking about Young Riders, the TV series. I would like to see one before he was the showman, when he was the buffalo hunter, taking the Grand Duke Archibald, what's his name, from Russia, whatever his name was. I would like to see that Kody, the Kody that was a frontier. What do you think?
I think.
Good.
Yeah.
You got to think sometimes.
I was sorry. I was sitting here and I was reading the comments, and Roy from Roy and Becky's Travel says what pay.
Yeah, I was a joke.
A lot. Yeah. A lot of your reenactors, and Roy knows this, a lot of your reenactors that go out and do certain parts, like Grant or Lee or Custer or Sherman or Sheridan, some of those guys make $200-300 for a weekend,
right,
just to go out and do these parts. And a lot of your artillery units, when they go to an event, they may not get paid to be there, but their powder is supplied for them, because a lot of those shots are half-pound shots, so you use half a bottle of powder for just one shot, and you might do 20 shots in a battle. And
we got about a half a dozen Doc Hollidays and Wyatt Earps if anybody needs them down here. So. They're all on the unemployment line, so if you need one, just go down there.
Yeah, exactly. But if you specifically need a Kody, Santee knows how to get a hold of me, and several of the other people here in the chat know how to get a hold of me. little plug right there. Mark S., which popped in last night during my PM show on my channel. Mark Siegel, he lives in South Bend, Indiana, just like 40 minutes away. He just asked, or just said, Drew got me into cowboy reenacting. Where can I find the clothes? And next time I see him, I'm going to smack him for asking that, because his wife is probably one of the best seamstresses I've ever met in my life. I just sent a flag home with her last night to make us an authentic hand-sewn 1880s era American flag.
Oh, okay.
That has the 38 stars on it.
Okay.
So, and she'll hand sew this thing, and God knows how soon I'll have it back, because she's bloody awesome.
Wow, that's
Rusty Allen, our mutual friend, just asked, where do I see Living History Comes Alive in 5 years?
You guys are jumping ahead. You know the questions I have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you read your own bloody chat then.
Drew, where do you see Living History Comes Alive in 5 years? Damn it, Rusty.
Damn it, Rusty.
Hey, Bill. Rusty Allen, New Jersey. Go find him. Okay?
Hey, speaking of Bill, I've got whiskey and I've got silver. When is Bill going to come to visit me? I mean, I had Rex here for like 3 days, and he like ate the neighbor's dog and messed up my yard, but slept with my daughter at night. So, I mean, it's like,
wow. Guess
he was cuddled up to her. There was no pen for him here. He cuddled up to her at night. Of course, his tail was hanging out in the living room, and his face was laying in the windowsill. But I mean, he cuddled with her.
Did you feed him beans?
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to figure out when I'm going to get Bill up here.
Well, you got to really make him angry. Unfortunately, he doesn't travel much unless he's angry. So anyway, he's really just living on the fact he got to shoot me in the. Nervous drink. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Rusty's awesome, by the way. Thank you, Rusty, for coming on the live chat today. All right, so when events start coming again, Drew, what is your favorite to attend?
My what?
Favorite event to go to?
Oh, Lord. God, I got a lot of favorite ones. One of them was Coldwater, Michigan, which it's Memorial Day weekend every year. It got canceled this year for obvious reasons. I enjoy, we have events at a place here in Michigan called Mooresville. Captain Bob Moore, his wife's maiden name was Moore, my mistake. His in-laws own a large horse farm by South Haven, Michigan. And they have got a complete mid-19th century town built on their property. Church, you can go in and have service, log cabins, bridges, the whole thing. Captain Bob's events, I love to do. It's wake up in the morning, haze is on the field, you can see the town. It's almost that surreal moment when you wake up and you forget what time period you really live in. That's definitely one of my favorites. And then, of course, Big Mike's events that he had before he sold his property. I loved that place. It was a little 5-acre woods. He had a fort built out there, a couple of cabins, a saloon. Of course, you've got to have a saloon if you're going to build a town. There's just.
Well, I think
that was a nice one too.
I mean, last week's Richard Bentofsky made a saloon. That was the first place he built. You got to start with the saloon, Drew. You started with a jail.
Well, and the only reason is because, I wanted to do a saloon, but I wanted to be able to move it from event to event to event. And you can move a little 2-man jail a lot easier than you can move a saloon that, besides, up here we have a group called the Emerald Peacock, and they have 2 very large marquee tents that they'll go and do events. And they actually have the bar set up. They've got the real nice mirror behind it, bunch of tables. I mean, it's like an old tent saloon in a mining town. Real cool guys. Awesome.
I haven't been doing this as long as you. I've been doing it for 17 years. But every time I've been to an event where there is a saloon, the saloon is always open. And that's because obviously you can't have a show inside of a building unless you're all in a building. It doesn't make any sense. But they've opened the saloon, and typically what happens is you've got just a little set of saloon doors. You've probably seen them in video. And then tables behind it. So you have imaginary walls. What you guys do up there?
An imaginary wall?
Yeah. So in other words, you can't actually have walls of the sets because nobody can see inside the saloon if you've got walls there. So
what
the audience,
what a lot of them do when they set the tent up. See, you guys do a lot more public shows than what we do. The ones we do when they set up like the saloon or something like that, they've got the marquee tent set up and they got walls on it, but they got like a door on one side, then a main door up front with the swinging doors on it. And people can walk in, they can sit down, they can get a cigar, they can get pickles, they can get something to drink, they can play cards, whatever the case may be. Where you have your crowds roped off from going and actually touching your set that you have set up, we have ours completely open where people can come right in. They can walk into the buildings. They can.
Yours is more living.
They can take part in things. And, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. So what happened?
But I would like to do what you do.
What's that?
I would like to do what you do. I mean, actually get out there and shoot at each other, fall off the roofs. I mean, I'm 51 years old. My roof falling days are almost over.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd like to actually break my first bone.
Yeah. I don't fall off roofs.
I would love to break my first bone before, you know, I get to that age where I just stand up in the morning and fart and all my bones break.
Wow, is that what I have to look forward to? Oh, great.
You know, that osteoporosis is a biatch.
Right. Okay. I was wondering.
Hey, I had a question for you too.
It did. All right.
I had a question for you, and I didn't get to ask you today.
Okay. Go ahead.
I know Tombstone was filmed between Old Tucson and Mescal, and I know that they built a lot of the buildings and stuff for the movie. Did they leave those when they left to become part of the town, or did they tear everything down?
Oh no, they left them. They're still there. Well, the ones that haven't fallen down due to age, but yeah, they're still there. When they do a tour of Mescal Studios, they take you into the saloon. Well, no, wait a minute. They used to. I think the building's a little unsteady now. They take you into some of those places that were in the movie, like Cosmopolitan Saloon. Metropolitan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan Earp just asked too. Let me go back down here because that was a good question.
That one?
He said, "Hey Drew, if you're 51, you started at my age. When I came back from the Army, Morgan, I actually got divorced, and I wanted to find something to fill my time, and somebody introduced me to reenacting, and that's how I got into it. You know, right around 24, 25 years old. I would have never thought about it. I was always a history buff, but I hated school history. But when I was able to start reenacting and studying on my own, I found out how interesting history really was. And I've been with it now all these years.
That's awesome. And thank you for your service, by the way. I appreciate it, Drew. You there? Oh, Drew died. Mm-hmm. So real quick, Rusty just asked, what kind of finances do we have? If you're asking Drew, it's a different answer than me. We basically get our finances from shifts that we do that are paid, which are very few. Or thankfully, we have won the Prestige gig probably 5 years. We got some money put aside for that. I have enough to buy a cannon, but Drew already sold it out from under me. So what can I do? Kind of stuck. Without a cannon. Poor Santee.
And of course, you know, once again, the guys who watch my chat, they know we're not monetized yet. We're like 5,000 minutes away from monetization. So, my wife, Santee. What?
Missed it by that much. You're gonna get there, man. You're gonna be there like next week.
Huh?
You're gonna be.
I'll be there by next week. Between
doing super chats.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of super chat, only because super chat, when you donate money to somebody on super chat, they only get like 65 or 70% of what you send them.
Better than me.
Yeah, but I've been using Cash App because Cash App, much like a Western Union or something, when you send somebody $20, they get that whole $20. So I mean, super chat serves its purpose, but I think it's kind of wrong, because technically, if you think about it, if you do, let's say you do like I do 8 live streams a week. So that's 32 live streams a month. So let's say the average person, let's say on average, I make $50 a week doing live streams. So that's $200. Now, when my channel actually gets to the point until it surpasses the point where it's making $200 a month, basically the people who are sending me money are paying me, because, you know, YouTube's keeping $200 every month, but they're paying me $200 a month.
No, I understand. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that's why I think it's like really unfair to do that. But if somebody wants to do it, I'm not gonna yell at them and call them dirty names for it, because it's all appreciated.
You know, the thing about, because I work with a lot of young people, and some of them go on things like Twitch, which are big gaming, like what we're doing now, but for gaming. And people just donate money to them. That's how they make their money, some of them. I don't think it's on an Old West channel, but it's possible.
And see, I don't know about you personally, but, you know, we've never discussed what a YouTube paycheck is like, you know, when you have 50,000 subscribers and you get monetized. And frankly, it's none of my business. I don't care. But when we finally get monetized and we have the crowd coming in and stuff like that, everything that I make on my channel is going to go back into my channel. It's going to be taking me to events where I can do videos from historic sites. It's going to be getting me to people's events where I can do my characters. It's going to be buying equipment so I can make better videos. I'll be honest with you guys. I get a hold of Santee at least once a week to do special effects on my videos for me, because I can't. I would like to be able to once in a while. So, you know, when he's being the... Huh?
You will at some point. You will at some point. I have to tell you, and like I said, that once you do it the first time, you're going to love it so much, you won't stop.
Yeah, for those of you who were watching my video that I put out yesterday about the Winchester, you know, the very beginning of it, when I stand up and I do the Chuck Connors thing, you know, bah, 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 bah. If you'll look, I've got smoke and flames coming out the end of the Henry that I'm using. I sent it to him, and I said, "Hey, could you like smoke me up here a little bit?"
No, Drew, those were real bullets from a real firing gun. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I live in town, so technically I'd be shooting the back of my neighbor's Hyundai if that was the case.
Well, it's a Hyundai, so yeah.
Well, I know. Well, you drive a Toyota. What are you talking?
Ooh, okay. Now wait a minute. Wait up. I don't have any gun in here, damn it. I'll throw a wagon wheel at you, pal. If I can pick it up.
I got one for each of you.
Who comes armed to a live stream?
Yeah, okay. Do that. Do that. Watch this.
Every diet. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the rude behavior of both of the people on this live stream. Where does this go? My wife's a teacher. We have staplers all over the house. So anyway, okay. So, what historical characters do you want to portray in future YouTube episodes? Getting back on the rails.
Well, I've actually been giving that some thought, and unless I intend on getting rid of this, which did take me, you know, like a month to grow, I would like to do Kody. I would like to do
Hickok. You gotta do Hickok.
Yep.
You got the guns for it.
Yeah, I'd like to do Hickok. I'd like to do Earps.
Hickok's easy. All you do is go like this. That's all you do.
Yeah, I mean, all I got to do is just
hold up the card and you die. That's all you have to do. It's easy.
Actually, it's kind of funny you said that. I had some cards out here earlier when I was getting set up, and I was playing. It's like, I wonder if I should wear my hat and stick my aces and eights up in my hat band.
Oh, geez, you should have. Yeah. So you know what's interesting? Have you been to Deadwood?
No.
I really want to go to Deadwood. I get a lot of questions about that aces and eights video I did, and there's 2 or 3 eyewitness accounts as to which cards he was actually holding. So we're never really going to know if he was actually holding aces and eights. That's just hearsay.
Yep, the dead man's hand thing is a rumor.
I know, it's weird. It's so unsettling, I think. It's so unsettling.
Citispell said, Santee, you have a ghost, a very active skeleton, and a dinosaur.
I do. Please.
I like the video where they all came about the first time. That's one of my favorite videos that Santee's done. Is the summoning video that him and his wife did at the table. That's I think that's what my wife and I are going to have to do to get Bill here.
Cowboy USA, are you from France? I thought you were, or you just know that about France. Huh? Interesting. Yeah, you know, Bill will come to your house at some point. He just doesn't want to show up when you want him to show up. He's going to do it when you least expect it.
That's why Yeah, that's why I've been baiting him and leaving whiskey sitting on the table with a couple of my silver coins. And, you know, I keep thinking if I bait him and we communicate enough, sooner or later he's just going to pop up.
Silver? Come on, Drew.
I don't have any gold, but I've got a whole lot of.
Not enough.
I've got a whole lot of late 19th century silver coins. So.
Ooh, it's got to be gold, buddy. I need to tell you.
Well, just trip to the bank.
I know. He's a tough one. So a lot of people actually don't know. He was a real character in the Old West, and I'm going to hopefully this summer. We'll get down to that cemetery he's buried at. So
that would actually be really cool.
I think so. Let me ask you a question about Kody, Wyoming. Was it really named after Buffalo Bill Cody, or did he name it?
Last month, I think it was, I done a video on Kody, and Kody had been through that area about 20 years or so before he went back and hooked up with a couple of fellas and actually named that place Kody, Wyoming. He rode through. He loved the area. He loved how easy it would be to aquify. The agricultural potential, the potential for a decent town, the location, the view, were all contributing factors to him going back there.
Hello? Oh, we lost Drew. Well, until Drew gets back here, I'm going to answer Andrew's question. What past Western icon has portrayed incorrectly the most? Well, I've been thinking about that for a couple of seconds, and I was thinking Billy the Kid, but no, I'm actually thinking Pat Garrett right now. Pat Garrett was basically an opportunist. I think maybe we haven't actually seen the real Pat Garrett. Maybe not Lee Marvin. Can't remember the guy in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Wow. Anyway, that gentleman who played that actor, I think he may have played him the best. But anyway, that's a tough one. It could be Jesse James too. When Drew comes back on, we'll ask him. Okay, Andrew, thank you so much for your question. Let's see, who else asked questions here? What about Doc Holliday, portrayed inaccurately as well? You know what? There is I have to tell you, I think Wyatt Earp, the movie Wyatt Earp, probably is a better portrayal of the real Doc Holliday. I think he was really more gruff than we all think he was. However, we all really like the well, I got to stop drinking. Val Kilmer portrayal because he was basically a smartass. I think we all like that. It probably was a mixture of the two. Okay. Let's see who else we got. James Coburn. Thank you. How could I forget James Coburn? Thanks, John Wesley. John Wesley? Harden? Somebody says, I like Wyatt Earp. Great movie. You know, I have a feeling that the Wyatt Earp movie was probably the best portrayal of the OK Corral shootout as far as how it happened. Not so much the costuming, but about how it happened. That's so far my impression on that. Let's see. Marie's here. Hi, Mark S. Mark S., are you from South Bend, Indiana? Is that what Drew said? Sometimes. Okay. All right. I'm flying solo here, guys. Santee at his. I heard that Pat Garrett was killed by a member of the Brazel family. You know, that's a very real possibility. I'm trying to remember the Brazel member, but apparently Wyatt Earp was on the side of the road doing his business, and he was shot. And apparently there was some bad blood with a member of the Brazel family. I just can't remember the name of the first name of the Brazel boy. Will Brazel, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, the theory is that he got shot from ambush while he was going to the bathroom. Yeah, kind of a bad way to go for a guy that poor Pat Garrett, you know, he never really had the notoriety that he wanted. Not that he should have had, but that he wanted. He never really did it. So let's see. Tyler Horton says, sorry, Santee, I don't know what happened. I lost internet. So did we, apparently. I think Michigan was lost all its internet. Drew should be on shortly, I hope. Let me go through some of these questions here. I would do a tap dance for you, but a little secret. I'm wearing my pajama pants right now, so it doesn't go with the vest because we're quarantined and all, you know. Oh, you know, that's a really good question. Jeans K? Sorry about the pronunciation. Mulberries were preserved. Pretty much everything was preserved back then because the winters were so long and hard and they didn't have heat like we have nowadays. You have to understand that they basically had wood fire or coal or whatnot. So they really had to have food preserved, and they did a great job of it in the Old West. I plan on doing a video on all that at some point. So I actually have a friend named David Rogers who knows a lot about that, and he's going to help me with that video. Right, Dave? Are you there? Dave, help me. Help me. All right, let's see. My name of scene is one. Okay, I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yes, this is the 310 of Yuma vest that Richard Bentosky made me. It's made from the same material that was used in the movie 310 to Yuma. I wear it to bed. I love it so much. Yeah. I don't really. Duke Fraser. Oh my God, Duke. Duke is one of the first wait a minute. Duke, you are the first person I did a live stream with. Google Hangouts. Buffalo Hunters. Yes. I should do that, shouldn't I? I have no idea how they dressed other than buffalo robes and coats and vests, but you know what? I'm going to do the research. Can you help me with that? Do you have some info? Duke, buddy boy, friend of mine. Okay, let's see. Let me see what I can find here. Yes, they did. They burned buffalo patties. That's right. According to Drew's video that he put out earlier in the week, it would appear that the millions of buffalo that were killed left only a couple hundred to maybe 1,000 left alive that had to repopulate. Now we're back up to about 500,000 buffalo in the bison. They're called bison, American bison. They're not really buffalo. That was an Old West term, based on what they thought they looked like from the African or African buffalo. Yeah. Anyway, they're American bison, but we have a whole bunch more now, and they're very happy to be alive. So please don't eat any more buffalo burgers until we build them up to 1 million. Let's see here. I can't imagine, quite frankly, a buffalo patty fire. I guess they were really desperate, you know. I can't imagine how it smelled. Absolutely, yeah. Gun spinning, rope spinning, and whip cracking is all part of the Old West. You have to think about that stuff. First of all, today we have fidget spinners. We're fidgety people. Humans are fidgety people by nature. You know, we're naturally fidgety people. We need to do stuff with our hands. Gun spinning, rope spinning. You said rope spinning. Whip cracking, all that stuff is Old West. Absolutely. And we're going to do more on that. I just really need to find people who do it. I know a really good guy named Loop Rollins, who I've been in a couple of things with. He makes a living off of his amazing gun spinning, rope twirling, whip cracking skills. So he is quite the fellow. Let me see. What? Is that his mother's name? Okay. Let's see here. I have a sneaking suspicion we're not going to see Drew again. That's true. Let me get through some of these questions here. You know, there is more information on saddles. Somebody asked me today about how they tied their guns and such up to saddles. I don't think in the video that I ever mentioned that they were rigged like ships, in the sense that they had leather straps coming down in certain areas so that you could tie up things like saddlebags or securing rifles or canteens, whatnot. So yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit. So thank you, Viking Shaman. Man, you have been watching me since the very beginning. Thank you very much. Are you really a Viking? I need to know. Let's see here. I'm going to answer some more questions. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Oh, boy. Hey, folks, we have a treat here. This is Ronald Cameron. He was the bagpiper on the episode we did on Scotland, and he's also been in other episodes, too. He's an amazing bagpiper. He's also like 7 feet tall, so... Santi, have you done a story on the Apache Kid or one of the Apache Scouts on the story of Al Sieber? I have not specifically done that. I've talked about it, but I haven't done that exact topic. So thank you, Ronald. I will. Do you want to be a part of it? Because I know where you are. You don't have to bring your bagpipes or your sharps. Incidentally, Ronald Cameron right there that was his sharps, and that was his persona. So, an amazing artist, by the way, Ronald is, in case you were all wondering. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay. Yeah. You know, I read somewhere that Ted Turner originally owned a lot of that land out there and sold it off. I think that he also has a bunch of protected lands for bison. You can bring your sharps, sure. Where are we going? Got some people asking questions here. This is the first time I've done a live stream without anybody helping me, so I appreciate your all's patience. Really? Oh, that's fascinating. You know, I want to do an episode on Al Sieber, and I plan to. Pretty fascinating guy. Really got around. He had a very sad death, but But boy, he was quite the person. I'm telling you, he was pretty amazing. Make a wanted poster. If anybody wants to make a wanted poster of it, I'll try to show it up on the channel. I'll do my best. Just please be nice. Please be nice. Okay. I think we've lost Drew for the duration, so I'm gonna jump off the channel here. Oh, here we go. Southern Fried. Hey, Santee, can you do a video on denim? Yes, absolutely, I can do. So, for instance, denim's been around apparently since way before the Old West. We started using it as Levi started using it as denim pants for miners and for people who are working in really hard labor jobs. That's why he started doing the rivets and all that good stuff to hold the edges together. It's really fascinating, and they found so many people have found so many examples of original denim from the area. It's really amazing to me. I would love to get my hands on one, because I'm a jean guy. So anyway, one more question, and then I'm going to sign off. All right. This is a comment. Yeah, Tom Horn's definitely going to be on there. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Hey, I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying Red Dead Redemption. It's a heck of a game. It really is. A lot of people who see that video that I put out on Red Dead think that for some reason I'm criticizing it. I'm not. It's, my God, it's the best game ever made about the Old West. So it's also the hardest game ever made about the Old West. Ooh, it's tough. Okay, let's see here. One for the road. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Cowboy USA. Here we go. A little shot for the road. Whew. All right, everybody. I'm going to sign off. Please check out Drew's channel. He does a live stream pretty much every day at some point, but he also does videos, and he's got a lot of history going on. So I encourage you to watch it. He's up and coming. I hope that he makes it. I'm sure he will. He really has a passion for it. So keep watching Drew. Keep watching us. And next week, we're going to be doing an episode on dressing the part. No, it's a live stream now. Live stream. It's going to be dressing the part, but it's going to be with Mitch Herod, who you originally saw in the other live stream. He and I are going to be talking about the differences between actual historical clothing and Hollywood historical clothing. I think it's going to be fascinating because he knows a lot about that. The Hollywood stuff. I know a lot about the historical stuff. So the two of us are going to be having a battle here, sort of crossed guns. No, we won't really have a battle. But it's going to be really fascinating. And if you all wanted to know some of the differences in Hollywood clothing in the Old West as opposed to the actual historical clothing, we're going to talk about that and why it's important. Okay? For now, we're going to sign off. Thank you all. Appreciate it. And as we say in Arizona Ghost Ridersville, please like, share, and subscribe. Anybody? Anybody? I'm waiting. I'll let you all finish it. Take care. See you next week.